Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So I am here today with a disc replay movie haul. So if you guys don't know what disc replay is, it is essentially just a used media store. They sell movies, video games, manga. They have collectibles there as well. They sell electronics. You can get TVs, things like that, computers, all that type of stuff. So it's just a used media store. So of course, it is like one of my favorite stores to visit. I would love to have the collateral to open one of those one day. That would be amazing. But for now, I will just be a guest there. I will shop there. So today we are talking some DVDs and Blu-rays that I picked up recently from Disc Replay. Now, these are not all from the same Disc Replay. It's not all from one stop. Over the past few weeks, I've been hitting up a bunch of different ones in my area. And so I just decided, let's put these all into one video and show you guys everything I grabbed. So I have 4 DVDs and I think like 14 or so Blu-rays, so somewhere around 18 movies to talk about in this haul, and some of these are really cool, ones that I've been looking for quite a while, so really excited to share with you guys everything I picked up from Disc Replay. So let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in to this Disc Replay movie haul. We'll start with DVDs as per usual, and the first one I'm going to talk about is called Friend Request. So this is a horror movie that looks like something I'll probably enjoy. It reminds me of something like, I think it's called Unfriended, which is like a Skype horror movie, something like, Host, which again was like one of my favorite movies of last year, but it's not done in a found footage style, I don't believe. It's just kind of that similar idea where, in this case though, it sounds like one of their dead friends Facebook pages, or I don't know if they call it Facebook, but one of their pages is haunted, I guess, and so it starts to kind of take over their lives. And so I don't know, it sounds interesting enough, and again, these are so cheap, so I'm willing to take a shot, and it is something that I'll probably enjoy given my track record. So the first DVD to talk about today is Friend Request. Next up is one that was recommended to me from Miranda at Miranda's Movies and Grubs, not personally, just one she talked about in one of her videos. And this is called Into the Grizzly Maze. Actually, this might have been on her Instagram rather than a video, but either way, I heard this one is pretty good. We were talking about it a little bit, and she said that it's actually better than Backcountry, which is a Scream Factory release, and I didn't hate Backcountry, but I was a little bit disappointed with it, I guess. And so apparently there is more grisly action in this than in that. And so this, I believe, is just a survival film. They're trying to survive this giant, mean-looking grizzly bear. So I love movies like this, and I'm really looking forward to this one, especially with some of the positive experiences that others have had with it. I'm really looking forward to it. So Into the Grizzly Maze, and it looks like this one is released in 2015. When I came across it, I knew I had to pick it up because we had just been talking about it, so I found it there for cheap, used on DVD, so I picked it up. Into the Grizzly Maze from 2015. Next up is a movie that I believe just recently had a Blu-ray release, but I can never find it when I'm at Disc Replay. I did, however, find it on DVD, so I decided to go that route. This has a great cast: Diane Lane, Ben Affleck, Bob Hoskins. That's amazing. And Adrian Brody. And this is called Hollywoodland. And so the reason I'm interested in this is because this is at least partly inspired by or based on the Black Dahlia murder, which is one of the most infamous Hollywood unsolved crimes from, when was it, the 30s or 40s? I just read one of the books on it too, and I can't remember the exact year. But yeah, this is should be really interesting. I've heard really good things about it. It is a thriller based in that old Hollywood, so hence the name Hollywoodland. So I'm very excited to check this one out. And that cast is ridiculous. So really intrigued to see how this one's going to be. Excited to watch it. Hollywoodland, and let's see, this one is from when? 2006, it looks like. So should be a fun one. The last DVD I ended up picking up is one that's very nostalgic to me because my uncle was always the one who would give us burned DVDs of movies way back when. I think I've more than made up for that now, but the one I remember him giving us first, there was a movie that was, I think it came out overseas a year before it came out here in the States. And so the fact that he had this perfect edition of it on this burned DVD before it even hit theaters here in the States was just such a big deal at the time. And I remember watching it and loving loving it, and I've just always wanted to have it in my collection, and I was able to find it. This is Mindhunters. So these are all criminal profilers of like in the FBI. It is a psychological thriller of sorts, and they're basically trying to hunt down a serial killer or the person they believe is the killer amongst them, I guess. So like I said, it's been quite a while since I've seen it, but I remember really liking it. It has LL Cool J, Christian Slater is in this, Val Kilmer as well. Like, it has an awesome cast, and though it is one of those movies that relies on like a twist ending, I guess I'll say, so I don't think it'll hold up quite as well. I still am really excited to revisit it because it's just nostalgic, and I loved it the first time I watched it. So Mindhunters is the last DVD I ended up picking up. So now let's move over to those Blu-rays I grabbed. The first Blu-ray I'll talk about is actually a Scream Factory title. It is one of their like IFC Midnight releases. This is Dark Summer, and this one was directed by Paul Soleil. So this one I've heard kind of mixed things about, but I think it just sounds like a pretty good movie, and it's from Scream Factory, so of course I want it in my collection. This is a modern day ghost story, essentially, where the main character wants to contact, I believe it's his dead friend, or her dead friend, I don't even know, but they end up contacting something else that starts stalking them. So it sounds pretty interesting. Paul Soleil also directed Grace, which admittedly I didn't really love, but I don't know, maybe I'll like this one better. So Dark Summer from Scream Factory, always good to add those to the collection when they're really cheap. I'll show these next two together, and I've seen the original, but I've not seen the sequel yet. This is 47 Meters Down, and its sequel, 47 Meters Down Uncaged. So 47 Meters Down was not one of my favorite shark movies, but I liked it well enough. I thought it was well done. There are some like creepy jump scares in there, which I think are done well. And 47, I'm going to stop saying 47 Meters, but Uncaged is a sequel that I've not heard really great things about, but since I found the one, I wanted to grab the other one, and it had the slipcase, so that probably played a factor as well, if I'm being honest. But either way, yeah, excited to revisit this original, and then excited to see this one. Even though I didn't love them, I thought they were decent enough to have in the collection. So 47 Meters Down and its sequel Uncaged, two more Shark Attack films to add to the collection. Speaking of series, so this next one, I actually have the first 4 films in the series now. And this is a WWE Studios or WWE Films series. And so I've always been interested just because they all star a professional wrestler. So we have the Marine 3-pack and Marine 4 Moving Target. So there are 6 movies in this series. I now have the first 4. Actually, Marine 6 is on sale for like $4 right now on Hamilton Books. So I'll be buying that when I place my order. And then Marine 5 is a little bit more expensive. It's like 10 or 12 bucks on Amazon, but of course I'll get that eventually just to complete this silly collection because that's what I do. But let's go through here. So we have John Cena in the original one, and that's like I think the only one that was actually in theaters. And then we have Ted DiBiase Jr., who of course is the $1 Million Man's son. And then we move into The Miz, and I think The Miz is in the next, like the rest of the series. And The Miz I love. And then on top of that, you also have Summer Rae in this as well, which is just ridiculous. So if you're a wrestling fan, of course, these names are familiar to you. If you're not, you're thinking, wow, what a nerd. But either way, I'm happy to have these in the collection. So I've not seen any of these yet, but I do want to have the whole thing just because I am such a fan of these wrestlers. And so hopefully they'll be fun as actors as well. So the Marine 3-pack and Marine 4 Moving Target. Only 2 more to go to have this complete series. Here's one that I'm surprised they have not released on 4K yet, because they have the original, they have the remake. This one is kind of in the middle, and they just never released it on 4K. So I was able to find the Blu-ray used, though, with the slipcover, which is awesome. And I think this is a relatively new release on Blu-ray, or at least I know they released one of these recently, so this might not be that edition. But either way, this is Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. So of course this is the sequel to the original Charlie's Angels. So I can't even remember if I've seen this one or not. Like, I liked the original well enough. My wife is a big fan of both of these, though, so I wanted to have all of them. I have the original and the remake on 4K, and now I have this one on Blu-ray. So if they eventually release it on 4K, I'll probably upgrade just to have the full series on one format. But for now, this will do, and I'm happy to have it. So Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. These two are kind of tied together as well, so I guess I'll show them at the same time. So I've been collecting the Death Wish movies on DVD because they were at like the Dollar Tree and Big Lots, and so I needed the remake, so I grabbed the Bruce Willis starring Death Wish remake on Blu-ray, and then I also grabbed the Jodie Foster reimagination, I guess, or reimagining the Brave one. And so I heard that this is basically the female Death Wish. It's like the same story, I guess, just done with a female actress, obviously Jodie Foster versus Bruce Willis in this case. So yeah, interested to check these out. I think now I have the entire series in my collection. The first 4 Bronson Death Wish movies are on DVD, and then I had these 2 on Blu-ray. And actually, these 2 were super, super cheap. Like they were like $1 or something. They were in their dollar Blu-ray bin. So I figured, yeah, I need them. Why not grab them now? So Death Wish with Bruce Willis and The Brave One with Jodie Foster, 2 very similar movies of remakes of the same film, really. So very happy to add both of these into the collection. This next one is actually a standalone film, believe it or not, and this is a relatively new release. It came out sometime between like October and December of 2020, and it's actually a pandemic film, but it is a zombie pandemic film. So this is called Alone, and it stars Tyler Posey and Donald Sutherland. Those are the names I recognize from him. But basically, our main character wakes up to find that the world is in a pandemic, and it is infected by zombies. So it is a zombie film, which I'm always interested in. So yeah, this one looks really cool, and just the fact that it was used already and it was in their dollar Blu-ray bin was pretty remarkable to me. So of course I had to pick it up. So Alone, and this one just came out last year. So another newest release to add to the collection. We're going back to a series now, and this is one that I never watched any of these movies, and so I wanted to correct that. This is the Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons, and then Inferno. So it's the entire trilogy. I don't know if there's a name for this trilogy. I imagine there is, but I don't know what it is. So this is all of these are based on the book series, of course, by Dan Brown, and I've always heard just kind of mediocre things. They're just kind of those big budget blockbusters, but I wanted to watch them because there were just movies I always missed. And so Da Vinci Code specifically, and then because I wanted that, I wanted the whole series. I was actually trying to find these ones on 4K, but it was just so much more expensive on 4K, and I think it was actually a like region 2 release, but it was like $40 or something versus these, which were I don't even know, probably I got this whole thing for probably about $5 or $6, so very cheap compared to that. So happy to have these, and really interested to check this series out. If you guys are a fan of this trilogy, let me know, or if you're not, let me know that as well. So Inferno, Da Vinci Code, and Angels and Demons to wrap up that entire trilogy. So here's another one from the Disc Replay dollar bin, and it's actually 3 films. I already own one of them on Blu-ray, but still $2 for the other 2 is a remarkable deal. So we have Any Given Sunday, Varsity Blues, and We Are Marshall. So I've only seen parts of Any Given Sunday. That's the one I already owned. And I've seen We Are Marshall, and I really like that movie. I don't know, it's not like the best thing ever, but I thought it was decent enough. Varsity Blues is one that I've always wanted to see, and I just have never gotten around to it. So now that I own it, I can finally watch it. And of course, these are all football movies, which I love football. So yeah, very happy to have this triple feature with the slipcover on it too. So I love doing these triple features, these double features, just because it's a space saver. So that is good in my opinion. I know there are a number of people that like having all of the individual releases, but for my money, I prefer to pack them all together just to save space. So Any Given Sunday, Varsity Blues, and We Are Marshall, a triple feature for like $1. That's a really good deal. This next one is another one that I've just always wanted to see and have never gotten around to it. This is Run, Lola, Run. So I know this is a very popular like thriller film of sorts, but it's just one that I've never gotten around to. So I found it for quite cheap on Blu-ray, so I figured you might as well pick it up and add that to your collection so you can watch it. What is this? This says a thrilling post-MTV roller coaster ride. That's a fantastic description. So I don't know, this one I've always heard great things about, so happy to have this one. Run, Lola, Run on Blu-ray. And last but not least, this is a movie that I needed in order to complete a series on Blu-ray. So I owned all of the Texas Chainsaw Massacres on DVD until recently, and now I own them all on Blu-ray. The last one I needed to upgrade was this one here, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Beginning. So when I stumbled across this at Best Buy, I like almost fainted because this is very difficult for me to find. At least in my area, I was not able to find it. I think it was like $15 on Best Buy, which I didn't really want to pay. I don't even think it was available on Amazon when I was looking. So Best Buy was my only option. And then I just happened to cross it at Disc Replay used. So of course I picked it up for the $4 or whatever it was, $5. So now I have the complete Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Blu-ray. So that includes Leatherface. It includes the Texas Chainsaw remake, like the second remake, I guess that's just called Texas Chainsaw, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, and of course all the originals I have on like between Scream Factory and just wherever they were available. So yeah, very happy that I was able to find this one. And the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Beginning, will wrap up my Texas Chainsaw Blu-ray series, and that's going to wrap up all of the movies that I picked up at Disc Replay recently. All right, and there is everything that I've grabbed recently from Disc Replay. I think this is a pretty fun stack here. I love finding used movies because they're so much cheaper than buying new, so I am a huge proponent of that. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys have seen any of these, and if you have, which do you love, which do you not like? Give me some recommendations down there on where to start. I would really appreciate that. As always, if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below and consider subscribing to Cinefessions here on YouTube. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 mark, so thank you guys so much for all of your support. And if you don't want to subscribe, that is totally cool as well. Thanks for watching this one, at least. I really do appreciate that. And like I always say, I don't just talk movies, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, collectibles, manga. If it's media related, I'm interested in it, and if you are too, you might consider subscribing. But alright guys, that is going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.